So is Neil deGrasse Tyson a scientist or a pseudoscientific philosopher? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about famous astrophysicist, if I'm not mistaken, Neil deGrasse Tyson, speaking about the idea of XY chromosomes, saying it's not really a big deal. You know, we need a little bit more than that. You know, what you were taught as a child, third grade science class about XX being female, XY being male. Man, don't worry about that. That's not really that important anymore. We need a little bit more than that, since we got people that identify as different genders and all kind of stuff. Don't worry about science. Let's worry about just how we feel and what we think about certain things. How we feel has apparently sparked evolution. Now, I did not know that's how that worked. I was told that adaptation, evolution, whatever you want to call it, which is a different story, I digress. I was told that these things are scientific in nature. It's not about, oh, you know what? I feel one way today, therefore I have evolved into a different thing. This is totally ridiculous, totally bogus. And before I go any further into my diatribe, let's go ahead and roll some video. This is your main man, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I will link to this in the description box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But shout out to Myth Inform Milwaukee. You guys, please follow his page. We see the caption right here. Quote, "Today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm going to put on makeup," unquote. Neil deGrasse Tyson defends the pseudoscience of woke gender studies. Let's go ahead and check it out.
My point is, apparently, the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient. Because when we wake up in the morning, we exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice. Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is.
Okay, I'm just really confused here, because people will try to say that gender is fluid, ain't no such thing as gender, and I'm assuming he's on that same kind of, that same parallel, right? Well, if that's the case, then how do you accentuate parts of your gender that you want to show to the world if there's no such thing as gender and it's fluid? How does it even work? It's so weird. People talk about, oh, ain't no such thing as gender, but then when they become transgender, they want to do everything in their power to look like the opposite gender in a stereotypical way. Prime example, if you have a transgender woman, meaning a biological XY male who now wants to identify as female, he's going to put on the dress, makeup, heels, lipstick, all of that to appear to be more female. But that contradicts the whole thing about gender not really being a thing. So is it a thing or is it not a thing? It's really weird. It makes no sense. But you know what the best way to avoid all the confusion is? To just be who God told you to be. And guess what? If you wouldn't have put on a dress and the makeup and high heels and whatnot as a male, that's your prerogative. If you're an adult male, do what you want to do. If you're an adult female, do what you want to do. But guess what? I'm not required to play along, and it does not change your chromosomes. Okay? It does not change that. You are still a male dressing differently than most males would dress around the world. That is it, and that is all. But I digress.
And so now, so now just to tie a bow on this, I say to you, somewhere I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosomes, today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup.
How do you feel female? How do you feel male? How does that really work? I'm not really understanding. You know, I'm seeing this whole big conversation about men having periods. That's impossible. Where your ovaries at, sir? Okay, and you're twigging berries. Ain't no room for no ovaries and none of that. So what are we talking about? How are you menstruating? But you don't have no eggs in your body. So what's really going on? It makes no sense. How do you feel female? You may in your mind want to be that way. You may think that you're feminine or something like that, but that's only in your mind.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. Or I might feel 80% male. I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt.
So is that all it takes to be a male or a female? Because I've seen some women, muscle-bound women with muscle shirts and stuff like that. You know, the gym girls, to be right next to the gym bros. I've seen some women that are more muscular than men, but they're still women and they are very feminine. They put on dress high heels, but got muscles too. So how does that really work? Do you even know what being a man is? If I was to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, what is a male? I'm not quite sure he's going to know. I'm not quite sure. You know, the testosterone right now from Neil deGrasse Tyson is in the pits. Maybe if he got on TRT, he might feel a little bit different. Maybe he's projecting to the world what's going on. Because I'm seeing this little freeze frame right here. You're looking like somebody's grandma right now, keeping all the way funky.
Why do you care?
Yeah.
What business is it of yours?
It becomes our business when these people who identify as different genders want to go into the restroom of their choice. Okay, you got some big 6'3", 300-pound biological male who says, you know what, today I feel female. I'm going to go in the women's restroom. And you got regular women, normal women in there who are now going to be intimidated by this male who was in the female space. That's why it matters. If you did that kind of stuff on your own and didn't involve anybody else, then I wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference to me. Whatever you do behind closed doors, whatever you do for yourself is your business. But then when you got to involve me with it, now we got a problem. That's the issue.
To require that I fulfill your inability to think of gender on a spectrum.
Pseudoscience. Like, you're supposed to be an astrophysicist, right? That's his profession, I suppose. You're supposed to be a scientist. You're supposed to work in the field of science, but you're telling me something that is unscientific. It's unscientific. Chromosomes mean something. Now, here he is talking about the vax. And if you oppose the mandates, then you are a bad person. Let's check it out.
But what happens is, especially under Trump, we had a conservative right-wing movement who said, I don't want the government forcing me to get vaccinated. I don't want the government telling me. I don't want the government. So it was kind of anti-government reach.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, if someone wants the vax, then I think they should be able to get it. But I think that they should be warned of all the possible side effects. They should be warned that this is a brand new thing and it could cause complications. I think that you should be well informed of whatever you're going to put into your body, but it should be your choice, 100%. You know, they got it all twisted over there. They talk about my body, my choice when it comes to a baby that's not your body. The baby's in your body, but it's not your body. But then when it comes to your body specifically, all of a sudden there's no more choice. It's weird. They got it all twisted. They got it the exact, it's like bizarre world over there.
So this is an entire community of people who don't have a sense or an appreciation of public health, right? Where you have an accountability to others rather than to just yourself.
The problem is that you want me to endanger myself for the possibility of protecting others, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put myself at risk because the first law of nature is self-preservation. So if we can't get that satisfied, then I can't help you with anything else. That's not how that works. I'm not going to sacrifice myself because you think that I should to protect others.
And these two communities met on opposite sides of the same fence. And then they became part of the total sort of vaccine hesitant community. Some were just outright anti-vax, but collectively they're called vaccine hesitant. So what do I have to say about that? I don't remember the exact latest numbers, but the lethality rate was somewhere between 1.5% and 3% of people who caught COVID would die from it. And for a while there, most of the people dying from it were people who were not vaccinated.
How about now? Is it the same thing now? Okay. Is it the same thing now? And I'm not quite sure about your numbers. Source needed.
And what I've realized is, wow, I think a lot of people don't understand.
And then my other question would be, out of those who have been vaxxed, who did not necessarily die from the bug, how many of them died from other things that they normally wouldn't have? Like, I don't know, 18 years old, having myocarditis and having a heart attack and dying when you're perfectly healthy. I'm just asking the question. I mean, I'm not saying there's a correlation or, whatever. I'm just asking a very simple question.
Statistics and probability and how numbers work and how you might make a decision based on those numbers.
Okay, so Neil deGrasse Tyson, the so-called scientist, is trying to tell you some things that, in my humble opinion, are very anti-science. So that's that. As I close, I want to say this. It's going to be kind of hard to get an education nowadays. If you got people that are supposed to be thought leaders and they're supposed to be the ones who are brilliant, these are the ones that are the thinkers of our society, and they're saying things like that, talking about XXXY chromosomes are not necessarily sufficient anymore, talking about you should put yourself at risk with a brand new untested thing for the safety of others. I mean, we're going in a very dangerous direction where everything is compromised. So shout out to all the educators that rely on things that make sense, rely on actual science, and don't just say things for political purposes. When you're talking about education, it shouldn't be political. It should just be a matter of fact. And that's it. It shouldn't be politics and feelings involved. Give me the full details, like the whole thing with slavery. Tell me the full story. Don't tell me pieces of it to craft a narrative. Tell me everything. Everything. I don't want to have any details left out, because when you're leaving out details, when you're leaving out pieces, you are selectively trying to craft a narrative rather than giving me education. And at a certain point, that's called propaganda and indoctrination, not education. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about Neil deGrasse Tyson and his stance on XXXY chromosomes and forced vax? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. What he was talking about right there is 1000% anti-science. I'm not a fan, have not been a fan for a very long time. Same thing with him and Bill Nye, the chemical engineer guy. Not a fan at all. They are political hacks, not scientists, not role models, and it's really a shame. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.